number one tactic that brings or generates a massive result specifically in dispatching business. So before I, go into details, I really want to share one of my students' results. And this is, it's fairly new. This is, I would say, latest um, the results, and then we'll deep dive into talking about the tactics. So let me share this screen with you, and think about how would you feel, you know, when you book your first, load. And again, we get a lot of, the Facebook, in our Facebook Messenger. Our students will hit the, with the message, with their success stories, and then their accomplishments. And this is what he says. And I made my first shipment today, and I will be using TryHall feature today. And for those of you who don't know TryHall, and in this channel, we have a video specifically covering the TryHall. So my load was from Dallas to Texas to Panama City, Beach, Florida, and I got this negotiated for 2,850. Well, almost 3,000, for this load. I'm so happy. One advice to come out from there: should I look for a load tomorrow? So this student been with us, if I'm not mistaken, it's about about a month and a half, I would say. So I'm really proud of him, and he's taking a lot of action. And actually, he asked, I think, his customer to take a picture of it. And then he said, he's really happy about this. And he said, "Hey, Kamal, I booked this load." And I remember he messaged me already. I think he got 6 clients, and I just checked today. So how this happens, and imagine being in his position, like first book your first load. There are a lot of tactics, obviously, that we share inside the training, and I share some of them here, but we really go in detail inside the training. But in today's live Q&A or a live coaching session, I really want to share something really, really important that works really, really well. But before I get into the details, guys, again, we will do just, as always, coaching for about maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I will start taking your questions. Please prepare your questions. And today's topic is obviously, client acquisition, right? So we need, customers, we need carriers. So I really want to ask this question. So if you use social media, specifically Facebook, right? Think about, today is a Friday, August the 13th, right? 2021. So starting Monday till today, Friday, which is 5 days, you used the Facebook, and tell me, how did you use your Facebook? Can you give me a percentage, like saying, "Hey, Kamal, I spend about 80% of my time when I'm using my, the social media accounts, for example, Facebook." Think about what happened. You were chatting with your friends or with your family, or scrolling, through your news feed. What happened? Let me guess what happened. Right. So, and this is something really new. It's been going on, I think, for about 3-4 months now. It's crazy. And I will share the news with you. You spend about maybe 80 to 90% of the time inside the groups. Tell me, and tell me in the comments below or in the chat box, and tell me that, "No, Kamal, I've been using my, Messenger, connecting with my family." Yeah, I'm not saying that you're not connecting with your family or friends, but what I'm saying is that majority of your time you spending inside the groups, right? Same me, right? I spend a lot of my time inside the group. And again, when I say I spend, well, actually, I do business inside the groups, right? When it comes to specifically independent freight dispatching. So for 3 reasons, excuse me, for 3 reasons, we go into the, these social media platforms such as, Facebook, and specifically groups. And today's topic, as you guessed already, will be Facebook groups. I'll be sharing the tactics, right? So here's the thing. For one reason is socializing. we go there for socializing. Second, we go there for entertainment, right? So we have a lot of time, we need to spend it. Let's go and see what happens with the world. And then third one is actually for information slash learning. Maybe you guys realize already that Facebook is shifting. This shift is huge. You either join now or you will miss a lot with this thing. And what's going on with this? Come on, like tell us more about this. Like before, Facebook was all about socializing, connecting with your friends and peers and colleagues. But what happens now, Facebook shifts gear and it's huge. It becomes a platform for social learning. Think about, and when we need some information, let's say we really first go to YouTube, obviously, to check how it's done, and then obviously we join Facebook groups to learn something, right? So I will be sharing tactics as far as how you will acquire a customer, obviously using Facebook groups. Maybe there will be, we get a lot of emails when students say, "Hey, Kamal, I took the course, somebody else's course. I was part of the group, part of the mastermind, and they taught us this Facebook. Yes, it's huge, but it was really broad and like I don't understand this." But we will talk about the mechanics of it, how you can leverage Facebook groups, and and you start earning money with independent freight dispatching, and assuming that you are interested in becoming an independent freight dispatcher. So, and again, guys, quick quick, I would say, info for you guys. If you really wanted to know more in detail, the tactics that I'm about to share with you, so there will be link it again, guys. So you guys, text an email saying, "Hey, Kamal, I really want to join the program, but I don't know how." There will be a link below this video. So what happens when you need a client, when you need a carrier? So we'll not go into really details, but I'll touch on the mechanics, how it works. A lot of students having success with this, and we stop doing the paid advertising. We are not paying right now anything, like zero ad spend. We all generate, like all of our customers right now, coming from Facebook groups. Yes, we have closers, we have people who talk to these guys, and myself, obviously, I do talk and close the deals with the carriers. But if you're an independent freight dispatcher and you really wanted to connect with carriers, join Facebook groups. And maybe you're thinking like, Kamal, oh yeah, it's not something new. There are a lot of videos about this. I'm not interested in this, guys. Facebook groups is huge, right? Maybe you're implementing the right, wrong strategy, but this is the right strategy that I'm about to share with you. What you do is that you join the Facebook group. And again, before the joining the Facebook groups, you really need to polish and this is very important, and I keep saying this. You need to polish your personal profile, meaning attach, upload, the image, one of your, pictures that it's actually you, and you have your face shown to the world. Don't hide yourself, right? And then there will be like pictures of I don't know, a cat or nature or something like that. Admins want, it's about almost 90% they will decline. In how I know, I do own a couple of groups, and I do this, right? I don't need group members. Like, I don't, if I don't know who you are, I don't know your name, and I don't maybe I don't see you. Like, there's a picture, but I don't understand. Maybe it's art, maybe it's in nature, it's something like that, right? But post or upload your personal, maybe professional, image. And then what you do is that you just basically go over the account and basically tell to the world of what you do, right? So if you're an independent freight dispatcher looking for carriers, say that. Maybe you have the link for your business, include that, right? And you'll be amazed how many people checking on you when you interact with the people, specifically inside the Facebook. What they will do before commenting or before engaging the conversation, they will check your profile. Now, so you must polish your profile. We're good with that. then you start joining the groups. And again, guys, I see a lot of people joining like hundreds of groups. You don't need that, right? So maybe you need at least, I would say, maybe 3 to 4. The max you can have is 10. Other than that, you will be lost and you will be exhausted, and it will just say, no, it doesn't work, right? So start with 5, groups. Once you admit it, you have 2 options basically, right? As far as post goes. One is actually value based post. I'll go in detail. And the other one is just question based post, right? So for the value based post, you bring something important and think about, like, you're thinking about the carrier, right? So, okay, who's my ideal customer? And again, guys, this is very important. I need to really touch on this. When you go into groups, you need to specify the market that you want to serve. What's market? Come on, what are you talking about? The market, I mean, is it the drive-in? Is it the flatbed market? Is it the refrigerator market? Or it's a car hauling market? Whatever you choose, you pick one, right? Why it's so important picking just one market? When you inside the group, you will be posting and just talking to specifically, that target audience. Those people will be interested in your services. For example, if you're really good at, let's say, dispatching and building lanes for independent, the flatbed market, and then you're posting something like for drive-in market, I'm in the flatbed market. Be honest with you, I won't be interested, right? I won't even look at it. So if I see something like flatbed or it's a step deck, it will catch my attention, right? Why? Because I'm in the flatbed market, right? So then obviously, if something for me, then if you're bringing value to me, and I will engage the conversation. And I share this, I will share it with you guys. And again, I'm not going into details, but this is how it works. When you do this value-based post, you post thinking about, let's in this example, we'll take the flatbed market, for example. You take this and you say, okay, I'll be serving a carrier in the flatbed market. This is very important, defining your target audience, right? And this owner has about like 4 or 5 trucks. For example, you're not saying this, carrier will have 20, 50, I don't know, hundreds of trucks. It's a small fleet, right? So you narrow it down and said, okay, now you're starting to let's talk about like question based specifically to this audience. What could you ask? You can say something like, hey, this question is for, I'm just, generating ideas while I'm talking. Be patient. So you can ask something like, how many carriers we have in this group, for example. And I see a lot of people asking this question. And actually, I engaged, one of these questions. And, you can say, how many flatbed, carriers in the flatbed market know the average of their cost per mile, for example, right? And then there will be carriers like, what do you mean by saying cost per mile? Like, and why you need this, for example, or do you have something about this? And then there will be a bunch of, people like meaning carriers will be engaging your questions. So what you'll do is that then you will engage the conversation. For example, I would say something like, hey, I have 4 trucks and I think, I'm not sure, but I think it's $1.30 cost per mile. This is the cost I have. And then obviously you engage in a conversation. Oh, cool, Kamal. Can you tell me more about this? Because I created, like, I don't know, Excel spreadsheet, how you can, calculate your cost per mile. See, I'm now going into details. So what happens, and then obviously you engage in the conversation, but the trick here is you need to move from Facebook to private messaging using Facebook Messenger, and you start talking more about this. And then what you promise, saying, hey, I have this software that can help you. I build it myself with the Excel spreadsheet. And then here's the promised Excel spreadsheet. And you do that, and then now you have the chance to introduce yourself to me, meaning to the carrier, saying, hey, I'm an independent freight dispatcher. I help people like you. Let's connect. So you can send, your, Zoom link. You can do like phone calls, whatever, and then obviously, if you have the script, you will use the script and convert this, carrier, and this is how you have a customer. And obviously, because of the time, we're not going into details like what to say, what not to say, and then the funnel, and then step by step sales process. But there's a lot into this. But this obviously is how it works. And if you implement what I taught today, take it for free and implement, you will get a lot of results. My students get a lot of results with this. They're implementing it. And again, guys, if you're thinking that, hey, I really wanted to spend money on ads, go ahead and do that. But before you do this, you must have at least one carrier so that you can start spending on money. Otherwise, you will drain your money pretty quickly. Okay. So hope this helps. And let's start taking some questions and then we'll go from there. Cool. Alienor says, hi, there is this portal that provides owner operators data in every state, but I can only afford to purchase one state data. As for an independent freight dispatcher, which state would you recommend to put my focus on? Obviously, it's a great question. So you must, if you have, load board access, you must use load boards to determine like which state. And again, this is very broad question. Broad question. It's a good question, but it's really broad because I don't know your business model. Meaning, I don't know your customers. I don't know your market you're in. It depends. Like for flatbed is different. For driving is different. For car haulers is different, right? So for maybe it's a box truck, it's totally different. So let's go here. Evgen says, hey Kamal, what's the length of your training? It's 5-week program. Yep. Okay. So let's okay. Irfan says, hi Kamal, I'm from Pakistan. Hello to Pakistan. Watching your training video series on YouTube. Cool. Let's say Oz says, hey Kamal. Hi Oz. Okay. So I'll be taking questions. It's really important. Let me take this. So Ashraf says, hi Kamal, it's my first time here, but all times watching your videos. My question is, how about hands-on training load board if I take your courses? Okay, so I don't have like courses. I have just only one program, which is up level dispatching. And when it comes to load board, like hands-on training, what do you specifically mean hands-on training? Like, open up your, computer and then log into your load board and start like clicking and then learning about it. If that what you're saying, then yes, we do this. And obviously, it doesn't matter as far as the location. You can be any part of the world. You can join the live coaching session, which is Mondays and Thursdays. Then yes, I'll be showing you. So if you say, Kamal, I really want to know, like, let's log in, and then I really wanted to just get some training, like hands-on training. This, yes, I'll be there, and then I'll be guiding you. And I do this with my students, like, hey, like let's book a load from, let's say, from Atlanta to Houston, and like show me the process, how you would do it, and then how you will talk to the broker and how you will negotiate. Yes, I do this. Okay, so Eleanor says, "Hey, I specialize in the drive-in and reefer market. And be honest with you, if you're a drive-in, there's no specific, I would say state. But what I do know, there's the two states that drivers don't go. One is New York, and the other one is Florida. And then there will be carriers here. They will tell you why. Yeah, so there's the two states. And I will tell you quickly for the New York, I think there are a lot of bridges, and then drivers hate to go there. And then for the Florida, going into Florida is, they pay good, but getting out of the Florida, it's nightmare. Yeah, there's not much of a load. Okay. So what's the price of your training? There will be a link below this video. You can just check it out. So yeah, because there are in a couple of options. So okay. Okay, let's take this question real quick. Let me close this. One question is that how I can call the broker from Pakistan. Should I need US number or use my local number? A little bit confused about. There are a lot of services online that you can, use. I do have, international students that they, use all sorts of, they use one I can remember. I think Ring Central. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of companies, over the internet that you can use the numbers. But I don't know as far as can you call like with your local numbers, maybe. But there are a lot of services online that you can use. Okay, there you go. David says, "Hey, how many time I need to be an experienced dispatcher? How many time? Meaning year of experience, or you mean the as far as experience goes? Do I need? I don't know as far as time, like if you need specific time, but at least I would say a couple weeks of training, it will be enough. Yeah. Okay, let's take this. Time ago, you referred us to OTR Capital to get career leads. Okay. Do you, if they are still, maybe you said, do you know if they're still working with your students? I have talked to them several times and no response from them. Okay, so I don't know if you're students or not, but as far as I know, yes, they do. But since we have a lot of students, asking these leads, and this is, what they realize is that when you start the training, for example, let's say if you're a student, without the completing, I think students get really excited and then hop on a call with the OTR Capital and asking, "Hey, I need leads," right? But what we realize is that not many of you ready in, let's say, in a couple of days. You enrolled in a course and you really excited and say, "Hey, come on, I can just knock it down and then I can kill with this. Let me talk to carriers." But it's not easy, right? It takes time. You need to attend live Q&As. You need some practice, and then obviously, yes, they will help you, and then they will connect you with the leads, obviously. Yes. Okay. So if I driver decides to hire you as a dispatcher, should it be okay for them to have a multiple dispatchers? So if, let's say, if an owner operator, let's say this owner operator has one truck and trailer, then working with the multiple, dispatchers, it doesn't make any sense because one dispatcher can move it like, I don't know, like crazy. One dispatcher is enough. I don't understand, like, why would an independent, or I mean, say owner operator with like truck and trailer use a couple of dispatchers? It doesn't make sense. But one dispatch will be enough. But if you say, Kamal, what if there's a carrier like with 2025, trucks, maybe 30 trucks? Then obviously, yeah, they're not enough. We need to get a couple of dispatchers. Yes. Okay. So can I be a truck driver and freight dispatcher for myself? You just pick one, right? And obviously, um, who chases two rabbits? What happens? Right? Catches none. You can be. So one of my nephews, he drives. He's an owner operator, but he still needs our help. What I can tell him, like, hey, you can use your app and still look for loads and then load your trailer up, but he's really busy running his truck and business at the same time. And think about, you can drive, but driving itself is huge, right? And obviously this dispatching is huge, and what you're trying to do is that, like, combining these two. I don't know, but yeah, you can try. But if you're a driver, I would just say focus on driving. Yep. Okay, Karen says, what are the differences in the courses you have? What are the differences in the courses you have? And again, I don't have courses. I have just one program. It's a coaching mentoring program. Um, I don't know what to compare. So I have just only one. So, okay, there you go. So, yeah, Ring Central, Grasshopper. I think I heard this company before. Yep. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, because I'm getting my AZ license, and on top of that, I wanted to learn for dispatcher. Cool. Yep. Okay, there you go. Hey Kamal, hi. I finished my course, okay, but struggling and for hands-on, do you charge extra? No, obviously not. If you're a student, um, you must join the live, coaching sessions we have every Mondays and Thursday. You just, hop on a call, and then you will be just like asking like this, but in a live, you'll be asking questions. I'll be hearing you saying, "Hey, Kamal, I really need hands-on, training." Hands-on training meaning in the, in the coaching session. So whatever the, struggles you have, I'll be helping you. Yes. Okay. Let's go here. Hi, Kamal. How will I respond to a carrier that I wanted to sign up with when he asks what RPM I offer? Okay, rate per mile, do you mean? Okay. And since that depends on a lot of factors such as market spot and trend lines. Yeah. Um I think I got one of my students, he asked me this question. I remember this, like, rate per mile. You don't like independent freight dispatchers, they don't charge like rate per mile. Yeah. So, but what you do is just basically, cost of your services. This is how you package. This is what I recommend. Okay. Cool. So, hi, 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 server. So, how can I open my own dispatching company? Can you tell me any way to do it? Yes. And we can do that, but again, like, I don't know if you're in the States and if you're out of states, but there is a video in this channel, go specifically, it'll just like step-by-step process. So if you're out of the state, right? So, and obviously if you're in the States, then you just choose, pick the state and then go to Secretary of State and then file your LLC. Cool. There you go. Great questions. How can I know market changes? Not sure about this. If it changes instantly due to the other factors such as natural factors apart from data market, okay, spot tool. Not clear about the question, be honest with you. Yeah, not clear. Okay. Let's okay. In the program, do you go over what questions to ask the broker? Also, do you use a tracking software? Okay, tracking software for your drivers. Okay, yes. Inside the training, yeah, good question. Inside the training, you basically, you go from A to Z. You have all the, templates, documents you need, right, to create your LLC. There is a module goes step by step how you will create your LLC. Is basically, I would say, when you go from A to Z, right? You basically you have up and running business. The only thing you need to do is just implement. So the implementation part is actually comes when you join the live coaching calls every Mondays and Thursdays, where you have like questions specifically. I don't know, Kamal, what's the difference between freight forwarders and, I don't know, freight brokers, for example? I'm really confused. And then we'll just deep dive into this. And then, hey, Kamal, I have this broker script. By the way, yes, we do have broker script, how to talk to brokers. And I will say, okay, if I say this and then brokers say this, what would I say? And then, okay, let's practice. I'll behave as, we'll just play role model what I say. And I'll say, okay, I'm a broker, you're a dispatcher, let's talk. And you'll be using this exact script, and then I will be helping you. Absolutely. Yeah. As far as software goes, we have a list of software inside the training. Yep. Okay. Let's take this question. Irfan says, how I will show DAT Power that I'm an independent dispatcher because he is no LLC or, okay. You're not calling DAT if you don't have your LLC. Okay, so there is a video. I think it was posted about a couple weeks ago, and there's like an in-depth training as far as how you can access the load boards. You're not calling them if you don't have your LLC, right? They won't give you an access. Okay, so then there is a Truckers Edge Pro. You won't be able to sign up online if you don't have your LLC, right? So this is very important. Okay, so yes, I need practice loads booking. Yeah, absolutely. So if you're one of our students, then you join the live Q&A sessions. or I would say live coaching sessions. We changed a little bit. Instead of Q&A, we just go specifically training, then take questions based on the training or the coaching session. Yeah, absolutely. So cool. If you have guys questions, let me know. If not, then we will end the Q&A, and then we'll see. I'll see you on Thursday. Then I'll see that there no more question comes in, assuming that you guys all good. Awesome. So let's end this Q&A session, and then let's meet on Thursday, and I'll be taking your questions. Let me see. Okay. Thank you for everything. Absolutely. You're welcome. We're here to help you guys. Absolutely. And again, for those of you who really wanted to join the course, there will be a link below this video. Please check it out. So if you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll go from there. Thank you.